Hi, everybody, and welcome to Art of Heart. I'm Marissa Campbell, and today is Thursday. And today is a very special Thursday because it is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all who celebrate. I wanted to first open this episode. It's a little different because it's just me this week, and I did this very intentionally. I wanted to have a really deep conversation with you guys about the complexities of holidays. For many of us, they hold joy, and sometimes they're complicated. Families are complicated. There's a ton of stressors, and both are valid. So, my ask this week is that you are listening to the podcast, whether it's first thing Thursday morning and you haven't like jumped into the festivities yet, or whether it's later on in the days of the day following. Think about how Thanksgiving affects you as your whole person. And I want to start by asking everybody to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out and to show up exactly as you are. If you are feeling frantic, that's totally welcome. And if you are so excited because it's the holidays and it's your favorite time of the year, that's amazing too. I wanted to start this week's episode by sharing some memories from my life. I have so many waypoints that are attached to Thanksgiving, some really cool ones and some that are a little harder to handle. So, first, I want to start with some waypoints from when I was young. So when I was in high school, I had lots of friends, and Thanksgiving were a time to like hop between everybody's family traditions. And so Thanksgiving for me just wasn't my family and my traditions, which were very stoic, I would say. They're rooted in traditions. We would be cleaning silver the days before and washing all the china and pulling out the crystal and setting all the place settings. And our meal consisted of an unbelievable number of items. We had turkey and we had stuffing inside the turkey and outside the turkey. And we had like three different kinds of squash and green bean casserole and fresh green beans and fried green beans. And we had beet salad and pea salad and mashed potatoes and yams and all of these things that were like our very specific traditional Thanksgiving foods. And honestly, all I wanted to do was take a roll, throw some mayonnaise and pickles on it, and eat a turkey sandwich with some green bean casserole. But that was okay, that was allowed later. And so as I would go and visit other people's family traditions for their Thanksgiving, their meals looked very different from ours. I had one friend who always did a seafood dinner on Thanksgiving because that's what they wanted to do. And I had other friends who had ham, and most families, they didn't have as, structured of a family holiday as we did, and I loved it. I love to get to see how other people experienced their Thanksgivings, and of course, my favorite time of the day was when we would walk or sit around the table and talk about what we were thankful for. Another really deep waypoint for me was, 2 years ago, on Thanksgiving. I was in Kansas with my Kansas family, and I got a phone call from my Florida family, my mom and my dad, that my dad was in the ICU and not doing well. And I was making this gigundous charcuterie board. We had decided that we were gonna do all our traditional Thanksgiving stuff with my Kansas family, which is turkey and ham and mashed potatoes, but I wanted to do this extravagant charcuterie board. And, if you follow along on Instagram, I will post a picture of it for you guys to see, and it was literally gonna be, like, 4 feet long and so cool. And so I was working on building the charcuterie board when I got a phone call that my dad was in the hospital and that I needed to get on a plane and go home because it was really urgent. And one of the coolest waypoints of my life was my entire Kansas family was like, okay, what can we do to help? And I had a couple hours before I could get on a plane, and I said, I really want to finish this charcuterie because I want you guys to still have this cool thing that I was planning. And we're normally, everybody's helpful, but normally it's me tinkering with the charcuterie. When I tell you, 8 of my family members stepped in and we built the most beautiful charcuterie board everywhere. They were cutting cheese and washing fruit and putting up pickles and all the things that go on a charcuterie board, and they helped make it so that I could have it complete before I walked out the door. I didn't know at that time that that would be my very last Thanksgiving with my dad. It kicked off a 2-week, really hard time in my life where both my parents were in the hospital, and eventually we decided to bring my dad home to die. And there are so many good memories of Thanksgiving, but that one hard one really does stick with me. And I would be lying if I didn't say that the past 2 Thanksgivings, that as it's crept up, I have felt a deepness in my chest, and my heart feels concerned because at any moment you can get a phone call and everything changes. I will tell you that my heart for Thanksgiving has always looked very full. I love the family. I love a lot of things about Thanksgiving. And Thanksgiving is probably my favorite holiday, but maybe not for why you would think. So imagine like after Thanksgiving, you get the kitchen cleaned up and everyone goes their separate ways, except for me. That's where the holiday begins. So I love to Black Friday shop, and I miss the big, fat, thick newspapers we used to have to go get first thing Thanksgiving morning. And I always wanted my own. I didn't want to share. And what I would do is I would wait patiently until the last dish was done, and then I'd get out a Sharpie and I would start circling the things for my Thanksgiving evening outing. For most of my life, Thanksgiving and Black Friday ended or started at like 7 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning, which was really cool. It's got to be this like big thing that you did after all of your turkey. And the reason I love it so much is because I really enjoy the activity of giving back. My Christmas present every year to myself is to do something for somebody else. And this has been this way for as long as I can remember. And so I like to adopt a family or pull angels from the tree or adopt seniors who really, really could use a little love and care on the holidays. And so no matter what it is every year, I use Black Friday as the catalyst so that I can make my gift to myself go further. I can buy more things, which is awesome. And so I like to take a ridiculous amount of time and care to figure out exactly what people have asked for their Christmas and for their holidays through the giving and map out where I can get things. I like to have a plan. I like to have, I have to be at this place at 5 a.m. and I get these things, and this place at 6 a.m. and get these things. And it's so much fun for me. And I think it's extra special because it's an opportunity for me to do something I love and to give back and to make the holidays that are coming up special for other people too. So normally Thanksgiving is this big bright holiday for me. And the past couple years, I would say my heart looks probably trepidatious. It feels uncertain. It feels a little bit like for those of you who are old enough to remember TV before Netflix, if you couldn't quite get the channel in right, there was like static and fuzz. I feel like my heart feels a little fuzzy around Thanksgiving. Um, the past couple years, and I'm really trying to honor the fact that that one Thanksgiving was hard, but that I've had, 44 other Thanksgivings that were wonderful, and to really appreciate and hold gratitude in my heart for my family who stepped in to help that day, even though it was really hard. As I talk about that Thanksgiving being really hard, I hope that we're all aware that sometimes we're carrying stuff into the holidays that could be stressors or that could compound whatever's happening. And so it's really important that we number one assess where we are, right? Like where is your battery, where is your heart as you're going into, Thanksgiving? And your loved ones, where are they? And so I've made a list of things to I want to give honestly voice to, and I want for us to think about and to be on the lookout for, because I think part of our return to self and part of our showing up as the best version of ourselves is to also be a really good human to others. And so I've made a list of some things to be on the lookout for in yourself and others that are hard stuff people carry through the holidays. It could be the first holiday without someone you love. It could be financial pressure. This economy is crazy. I can't believe how much food costs are. There's so much going on in the political world and with the economy. Between meals and travel and gifts, financial pressure is real. Maybe you're fresh out of a breakup or friendship fallout, and your Thanksgiving doesn't look the same as it did before. Some people may feel obligated to perform traditional Thanksgiving perfectly. I remember my very first Thanksgiving in when I moved to Kansas, and I mentioned earlier in this episode that my mother had these very deep-rooted traditions in silver being polished and china and crystal. And my very first Thanksgiving, I was in my little teeny tiny eat-in kitchen, and I think there was 12 of us. and I had found these really cute turkey plates at TJ Maxx, and they were the cutest plates, and I was like, "Gosh, I really love these plates." I was married at the time, and my husband was like, "Well, why don't you get them?" And I was like, "Well, we can't have paper plates on Thanksgiving." And his response was, "Why not?" And so I was in that. I can appreciate my mom's tradition of china and silver being polished and crystal plates. But in that moment, I loved these turkey plates, and I departed from that tradition and I made traditions of my own. And I have to tell you, it was one of my favorite Thanksgivings, and we did all kinds of things that weren't traditional, and we had a wonderful time. And the house was super hot because even though it was cold outside, there was a bunch of us in a little room, and we had such a good time. So if you're feeling obligated to do your traditional Thanksgiving and you don't feel that this year, don't do it. Go have a turkey sandwich on the porch and it'll all be fine. Caring for aging parents or parents through chaos is something that is really affecting my generation right now, big time. I'm feeling it. I know many others are feeling it. The loneliness, even in a full room. I can't tell you how many times I feel completely lonely in a full room. And I have learned in the past 6 or 7 months on how to come back to myself and how to make an effort to connect even when I feel super lonely. There's also grief around expectations not matching reality. I am so good at fantasizing what I think is going to happen or having that nostalgia in what used to happen, and maybe it doesn't quite work out that way. Burnout. Man, burnout is real. We know I talk about this. I wrote a book about it. I am currently healing from burnout, but burnout in the holidays is magnified because there's all these expectations, there's all these things to do. Sensory overwhelm, hosting pressure, and overstimulation. Man, it's a lot sometimes. We're out of our normal process. We're out of our normal realm, and being able to step back if you're feeling overwhelmed is really key. And this is the thing that I will leave you with is trying to keep everyone else in the room happy and forgetting about yourself. Don't forget about you. Remember the oxygen mask theory that we've talked about in podcasts in the past. Take care of yourself. Whatever you're holding, there's room for here. There's room for in your life, and there's room for with your family and friends. And whether you're holding something really heavy this Thanksgiving or someone you love is and you notice it, give it space. It's okay. We don't need to be perfect. We don't have to have it all figured out. We can have a perfectly lovely Thanksgiving and have our hearts filled with gratitude and eat a lovely meal with people that we care about or even by ourselves. And it's okay to have hard stuff and it's okay to carry those, but give space for it. So, how do we bring art of heart into the holidays? When we go around the table and we say, "Oh, I'm thankful for I've had an amazing year," or "Oh, I'm thankful that we can all be together," or "I'm thankful for my friends and family," or "I'm thankful for my job," or "I'm thankful for whatever." It's beautiful but vague. What if we didn't use such broad words like grateful? What if we actually took the time to describe how we feel? What if we add art of heart to our holiday? So I've thought about some words that you can use to enrich the idea of gratitude that will help us be more honest and give more color to what's happening in our hearts. So I've come up with a few that we're going to talk through today, and I'm really excited to share these with you. And I hope that um, as you're thinking about what you're grateful for, to think about some of these words just instead of saying, I'm grateful. Um, I'm steady. I feel held. I feel softened. I'm rooted. I'm comforted. I feel tender. My heart feels warm. My heart feels cracked open with gratitude. I feel hopeful for the future. I'm grounded. I'm awake. My world is expanding. I am humbled by the love I feel. Feel connected to the people in this room. I feel seen. I feel supported this Thanksgiving. I am restored. The load I'm carrying is lightened. I'm surprised. I feel peaceful. I am renewed. I am anchored. So instead of just saying, I'm thankful for my family, try saying something like, my heart feels softened and safe when I'm with you. Or my heart feels rooted because of the way this room holds me. So this year, as you go around, and again, if it's too late and you've already done your thankfuls, maybe send a couple quick notes and let people know that by adding this art of heart color, how you feel. It's important that we not only have these reflections with each other, but also with ourselves. I will tell you that I start every single morning with what I call a heart check. And it's when I check in on my battery and I say, where is my battery and what is my emotion word? And this has really helped me not only to heal from burnout, but helped me to connect better with myself. And oftentimes it comes with a little thread of gratitude because I am so grateful for the opportunities that I have. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here with you guys today and sharing my heart with you. I'm so grateful for the opportunities I have in my startup. I'm grateful for the opportunities I have in my relationships and with all the really neat things I get to experience, all the wonder, adventure, and joy. And so when I do this, I think it helps me to think about what are the things that I'm grateful for in the process. So, as we think about our hearts this Thanksgiving, and we think about how we're going to share our hearts with other people, um, make sure you take a moment to share what your heart looks like, even if it's just for yourself. Are you proud of yourself because you're doing the work that you need to do? Are you proud of yourself because you're showing up as the best version of yourself? Are you proud of yourself because you're sticking to eating foods that are healthy for you or moving your body? Are you feeling happy that you allow happiness? Are you tethering? Are you finding ways to come back closer to yourself every day? What are the things that you're super grateful for, and take a moment to reflect on them and see how your heart feels. And if you have a notebook, pull it out, write it down, um, and let's revisit it later in the season. Holidays are chaotic. We all know they're crazy. It doesn't matter how you try to cut it, it's crazy. There is cooking to be done, and people, you have to travel sometimes. And there are lots of people who are in your space who may not necessarily normally be in your space. And you may love them deeply, but maybe you have difference of opinions on things. And maybe they're at a different place in their life than you, and that's okay. And oftentimes, we love the holidays, but we're like, wow, I can't believe I have to do all these things. There's so many things to do. In fact, for our family, we're having Thanksgiving the evening before. And that means that there are a lot of things to do. And I also have to work. And so I had not thought about what that was going to mean to my week when I was like, sure, we can do it then. No problem. That works great. Except I have a ton of cooking to do, and when am I gonna do it? Because I have a full call schedule. And so I did some things this week, to set up as my own best friend, to think about future Marissa and what was going to make life easier on her, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that, and I made sure to rest over the weekend, and I did my shopping when it was quiet, and I did all my meal planning, and I have a fun little list of all the things that I need to do. And so that was the first step in me making sure that I was good going into this crazy holiday, Thanksgiving. So I want to remind everybody that in times of extra stress, that it's important to tether. And remember, if you guys are new here, tethers are things that we do to help us come back to ourselves. And what I mean by that is it gives us a break to breathe, to slow down our nervous system, to slow down the constant barrage of needs, wants, and ideas and things from other people, whether it's the world, media, our children, our spouses, our family, our work, whatever it is. And to be able to come back and have quiet moments to yourself. So I put together a short list of things that you guys can do today, as things are probably pretty busy. So one of my favorites is stepping outside for 90 seconds in the air or the sun, even if it's cold, and just breathing. Um, Also, taking a quick grounding breath before you walk into a room really helps. Or if people are on your absolute last nerve, which happens, take a deep breath before whatever's going to exit your mouth is going to exit your mouth. Excuse yourself to the bathroom, stretch your shoulders, put on lipstick. We've talked about the lipstick tether in the past. Take a second for yourself. Sip water slowly. I have always been like just chug water because I have to hydrate or because I'm thirsty. And in the past recent months, I've realized that just sipping water with intention really helps me to just have a moment to think and ground back into my body. Take a walk after dinner, even if it's just you by yourself. After dinner, the dishes are cleaned up, go for a short walk and just breathe. Just be in the moment, and enjoy the movement of your body and enjoy, even if someone goes with you or you go by yourself, take a short walk. Give yourself permission to skip something. This is huge. Whether it's the perfect pie or the perfect table or the perfect emotional performance, or if you really have to just go for a walk before it's time to do the dishes, or whatever it is, give yourself permission to skip something. We don't have to be perfect all the time. It's not about perfection, it's about being present in the moment. Do one small thing that brings you joy. Whether it's wearing your favorite fun pair of earrings or whether it's maybe it's making something that you want to eat that no one else cares about. Do one small thing for you and use boundaries. I'll join you in a few minutes. I'm going to sit this one out. I need a quick rest. Use your words and tell people what you need and be honest with yourself about what you need, because being your own best friend, that's the best way to start to return to yourself. I'm so grateful that I got to spend a few minutes of your holiday with you. I am so grateful for this opportunity to have this podcast and to show up in your car as you're driving, or in your ears as you're on your walk, or if you're watching the YouTube in your living room. Uh, I am really encouraged this holiday that I feel like I have a better set of skills to leave this holiday season, not only better than I found it, but also to leave myself in a better place. And so, as you enter into this day, um, think about what your heart needs. There are beautiful parts of this holiday, and there are probably parts that feel a little prickly, and that's okay too. Gratitude isn't about being perfect, it's about being real. And when you're real with what you're thankful for and you provide a little color to what your heart looks like in those gratitude moments, it really does fill you up in a different way. I would invite you to share a heart worded moment with someone in your life, whether it's someone you love or whether it's someone who's made a big impact on you. We oftentimes don't do ourselves a service because we don't tell people how we really feel. And if you're with your family and friends this weekend and you really love how special someone makes you feel because maybe they make your favorite dish, or maybe they always take the time to ask you how you are and they mean it genuinely, I would invite for you to share with them what your heart looks like when you think about them. Tell them you love them. Time is very short. And I'll leave you with this. You are allowed to feel the whole spectrum of whatever you feel: the joy, the ache, the nostalgia, the wonder. Your heart is full and it is allowed to be filled with whatever it is. Thank you so much. This is Art of Heart on Thanksgiving in 2025. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.